Daniel and Rob and everybody who helps out. Because you know, David Aerobics and I were talking, and we were quite some time Monday or Sunday before we went home. We took a nice long walk through the woods of Ithaca. And David's been traveling like harder than I have for 20 years. You know, he tours relentlessly. And this world is not an easy world to live in for folk musicians, you know? I mean, the audience is getting older. There's not a lot of young people coming into it. And the audience is getting smaller. And that's, David's been doing this for 20 years. And he said it was the worst tour he's ever done, at least in recent years, in terms of numbers, you know? And you know, fortunately, unfortunately, those of us who try to do this full time have to live on this, you know? And the hardest thing of all, of course, is just continuing to go and write and perform at the same time that you try and do the business end of it, you know? So anyway, so I want to sing a couple of those songs from this album, Portraits, which I brought. And, you know, I've got some wonderful musicians up in Ithaca, you know, that I work with. I, of course, can't bring them down here.
We've been here for 40 years.
Yeah. And the Burns sisters sing on the new album. They're just wonderful singers. They've been singing for Arlo Guthrie as his backup singers for many years. And there used to be 5. There are 5 of them. But they started out in the 80s, and they had a Columbia Records deal and everything along the way. Now there's just 2 of them singing as the Burns sisters, Marie and Annie. The others are still doing music, but in different organizations, different groups, you know. Well, so this is one of the songs they sang. It's a song called "I'm Going to McWalbuck's Depot." Think about it. When all those corporations finally finish merging, there'll just be one store you can go to. That'll be called, McWalbuck's Depot. McDonald's, Walmart, Starbucks, and Home Depot. And, you know, they often say American, you know, people in our country don't really give a shit about this stuff. When I go to Australia, I said, I just said last month, it was the same thing. People say, you know, you're not like the typical American we expected. I said, I try not to be, I tell them. You know? But this song's about one of those typical Americans who doesn't care. You know, because as you all know, right, when corporations merge, well, first of all, what happened to Walmart, right, historically? They set up on the edge of several towns, they suck the life out of every town around. They kill the main streets. And then if they don't make enough profit, they just shut up and then move on, you know, shut shop and go. They never buy their buildings either. They always lease their buildings, lease their land. And they'll build that behemoth. And they have shut stores in parts of the country where they haven't been profitable, and they leave this concrete tomb sitting there that nobody else is ever going to be able to, you know, who would ever put a store in there, you know? So I thought about all those things. And you know, when corporations merge, you know this, workers get laid off, they become redundant, right? Benefits get cut, right? Prices increase, ultimately. Selection is reduced. Now we care about these things, but most Americans don't. And so this is a song from the point of view of one of those people who doesn't, because he can get all his shopping done in one place. McWalbuck's Depot. And the other thing that's going on in this song, one of the things that you remember, I'm sure you're aware of this yourselves. Another way those companies keep raising our prices on us. They cut down the volume size, right? Right? You know this, right? Come on. I mean, the package is getting smaller. I mean, you know, the ice cream used to be a half gallon, right? Now it's 1.5 liters. The yogurt used to be 8 ounces. Now it's 6, right? I don't buy Tropicana or Minute Maid, but they're 59 ounces now instead of 64. Yes?
Can you talk about the TPP?
What about it?
Do you know what it is?
Well, the Trans-Pacific Partnership.
Yeah. This is where all of our jobs, the good ones and the fairly good ones,
sure. They'll just facilitate more corporate flight, which of course Donald Trump is against, even though his fries and suits are made in Mexico.
But he's not sure he's against it.
Anyway, so this song was my attempt to sing back to my Australian friends and say to my Australian friends, you're right. A typical American does think like this. And I'm going to McWalbuck's Depot. Some people say that I'm a typical American, and I don't mind that a bit. I once voted Democrat, stood for the unions, all, but nowadays don't give a shit. I'm a gun-toting, eating, mind my own businessman, and I just wanna have fun. And I won't wanna hear about global warming, cause a lot bake in the sun. So I'm going to McWalbuck's Depot. I'm going to get me some burgers and fries, and follow it up with a double shot mocha. It's only $1.50 to supersize. Says competition and viewer choice, just make it easy on me. So I'm going to McWalbuck's Depot in my oversized SUV. Hey, gas is still $2 a gallon, right? They're bringing back the Hummer, I hear. Has everything been getting smaller, or is it just my eyes? Started with soda and yogurt and ice cream, now you pay more money for a smaller size. The big corporations keep on combining, and there's just nothing wrong about that. 200 channels and a Wi-Fi modem, and I just keep getting back. So I'm going to McWalbuck's Depot. I'm going to get me some burgers and fries, and follow it up with a double shot mocha. It's only $2.50 to supersize. Less competition and fewer choices, just make it easy on me. So I'm going to McWalbuck's Depot in my oversized SUV. Some people say that I'm an ignorant American, as if there's some other kind. Who cares if it's hotter and the seas keep rising? Gotta tell you, I've got mine. We won the war and now we own the storm. Oh, soon there'll be only one. Suck it up, mate, ain't I will be great. I'm gonna get my shopping done. I'm going to McWalbuck's Depot. I'm gonna get me some burgers and fries, and follow it up with a double shot mocha. It's only $3.50 to supersize. Less competition and fewer choices, just make it easy on me. So I'm going to McWalbuck's Depot in my oversized SUV. Yeah, I'm going to McWalbuck's Depot. I'm as happy as a fool can be.